It's the mid-2000s, the morning after trick-or-treating on Halloween. Your buddy Jake spent the night at your house and you two played games on your old N64 all through the morning. He just went back home, but he forgot his copy of Mario 64. You decide to shove it in and boot it up. Some things seem off, but... oh, this isn't like your version of Mario 64. No, this is B3313. B3313 is a ROM hack of Super Mario 64. It was created by a guy named Chris Brutal Aggression and his dev team. The hack is essentially a melting pot of the Super Mario 64 iceberg, a bunch of YouTube videos, and the collective unconscious. The game plays very similarly to the vanilla Super Mario 64, except now the main challenge is figuring out where the hell you are. Since the nature of this ROM hack is largely about exploration, talking about it at all feels like spoiling. I'll be getting to bigger spoilers later, but I highly recommend you give this a try before you watch this video. You can find a link to the hack on the wiki, and it should run just fine on any emulator. If you're using PJ64 like I am, you might have to allocate more memory to the ROM. With all that said, time to show you the madness that lies within. When it comes to this review, I'm just going to keep it to comparisons between vanilla Mario 64 and this ROM hack, since I'm sure everyone and their mother has seen the original game by now. The game looks, well, it looks like Mario 64. It doesn't look bad or anything, but it's based on a 26-year-old 3D console game. Don't go into this expecting to be amazed on a technical level. That said, I find the art direction really interesting. The ROM hack uses a mixture of beta and vanilla assets. There's something off about how everything looks. Visually, there's a very large distinction between places like Pleasant Falls and the Iron Lung dimension. It adds this feeling that something more sinister is going on in the background, which I'll get into later. For now, all you need to know is that while it's not technically impressive, there are plenty of interesting sights to see. Oh, there's sights to see. In the audio department, things sound great as well. There's a great blend of vanilla music, beta music, music from other Mario games, and original music. In my opinion, there are no bad tracks. Most of the sound effects are the same as vanilla, except for Mario himself. Nearly all of the noises Mario makes are from his beta version. This didn't immediately get on my nerves, but eventually I could tell why it stayed in beta. It might sound alright to most people, but eventually I found it just grating. The music and the atmosphere combined make for some pretty spooky vibes from time to time, especially when the castle theme is remixed into a minor key. Overall, I thought the audio was pretty good, except for Beta Mario, but that just might be me. As for the gameplay, it plays a lot like the original Mario 64, except Mario himself is a lot floatier. This means that the platforming is a lot more forgiving, which is fine because most of the fun comes from exploration anyway. In fact, it's very hard to lose in this ROM hack, since there are multiple ways to get yourself some infinite lives. Also, to get the ending cutscene, you don't even need that many stars, only about 30 I think. So then where's the challenge at? Well, let me show you. Here are a few examples of what it's like to navigate the castle. Going through the double doors at the top will take you to a hallway. Dropping through the trapdoor will take you to the lobby. Going through the pipe at the top of the mountain will take you to the time loop. Entering the double doors on top will then take you to the lobby. This time dying in these are forced out more like no more dreams and immediately down to the retreat loop. If that all sounds like too much, don't worry. There's a map. Most of the courses you encounter on your journey vary from fun little beta versions of maps to the Eternal Fortress. Overall, I'd say this ROM hack is easy to play and hard to remember which multiverse you're in. The atmosphere is largely inspired by the iceberg picture and YouTubers, especially a YouTuber named Greenio. Definitely a lot of inspiration from Greenio. There's this sort of uncanny feeling to most of the rooms. There's just something off about how everything's structured and how the lighting is. It feels, like a fever dream. But it's not just the environments either. A lot of the characters themselves are off too. Bowser only makes weird, vague threats towards you, and the Bomb-Ombs are all really nihilistic. They all talk about how nothing matters and how everything's a pointless waste of time. What the hell's going on here? There's not a ton to spoil, but if you don't want spoilers, go to here. Okay, so most of the spoilers are just references to the iceberg. More specifically, the point about the internal plexus of the castle. The AI in charge of personalizing your copy of Mario 64 has basically gone rogue. It's been keeping Mario and Luigi in some sort of limbo/hell, and most of the enemies are just puppets of this AI. Even when you beat the game, all you see is Mario curled up in a ball on the floor, and then you're kicked back into the Plexel lobby with no HUD. The AI is also aware that you, the player, are playing the game. This doesn't really do much for the story, but they might do more with it in the 1.0 update. The AI also has killer Marios lurking the castle in some spots, and they'll kill you instantly if they touch you. These faceless Marios are less like an iceberg, cool, spooky beta thing and more like a binge-round creepypasta. It adds a little bit of horror into the Romhack, but I can see how it wouldn't work for some people. There's also plenty of levels with iceberg references, but I'm not going to talk about them since I want you to find them yourself. That's B3313. It's a fun ROM hack. There should be more stuff coming out with 1.0 soon. Depending when you watch this, 1.0 might already be out. The whole ROM hack has an eerie feeling, but the actual scares are pretty rare, and the vibe is mostly just exploration and wondering where you're going to go next. I know this video is pretty short, but I wanted to keep it that way since most of the fun's from exploring anyway. Besides, it's free, so there's really no reason not to try it at least. I'll put some links to it somewhere if you want to give it a whirl. Next time, I'll be talking about something more straightforward hopefully. Or not. I haven't really picked anything yet. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you have any games you would like me to cover, leave a comment and I'll try to get to it. Huh.